Let's go ahead, let's get started. I want to go ahead and I want to bring out our first presenter for today. His name is Michael Tawill. He is from Market Traders Institute. He's going to be discussing the Forex market here today, specifically talking about the London breakout strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, Michael, if you want to go ahead and take it away, I'm going to go ahead and make you I'll go ahead and I'll make you the presenter right now. There you go. So, Michael, if you can go ahead and do a quick sound check, let me make sure that you're there and you are ready to get started. Michael, if you can do a quick sound check so we can hear you. Let me see if we can, oops, hold on. Let me see if we have to. Okay, you should be good to go, Michael. On our end, it looks like your microphone's on.
All right, let's try now.
There we go. Perfect. Great. Okay, go ahead. Take it away, Michael.
All right, perfect. Thanks, everybody, and thank you for that introduction. Well, I just want to let everybody know, once again, my name is Michael Tawill. Definitely appreciate the introduction there. And one of the things that I want to let everybody know is, clearly we don't have a whole lot of time. We got about 45 minutes together. And so one of the things that I want to do today, one of the things that we're going to talk about is my goal for you really is I'm going to build a proper expectation for each and every one of you today as far as what you can really expect as a Forex investor. Now, right out of the gate, what I want to find out is how many people do I have with me right now that are currently trading the Forex market, whether it's demo or live, doesn't matter. But you're currently getting your feet wet in the market. I just want to kind of find out. Or maybe type in a Y for yes if you do have an interest in learning about the Forex market. You've heard about it, you know a little bit about it. Okay. Awesome. I see we have quite a few of you here in the room. So with that being said, one of the things that I said earlier on is that, we don't have a whole lot of time. And so one of the things that I'm going to go ahead and get right into is, and let me just kind of confirm, can everybody see my screen as well? I just want to make sure that there's no issues with the screen. If you just type in a Y for yes real quick in the chat box. All right. Perfect. Good deal. Thanks, everybody. All right. So with that, let's go ahead. And first thing I have to let everybody know is that, trading does have its own form of risk involved. So you should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. And you always want to trade with equity management in mind. There is no such thing as an undefeated season, and you may incur losses from time to time. But the key is to really keep your profits high and have minimal losses. And I'll show you a little bit more, about what I mean regarding that when we do, in fact, get to the live market. Now, for those of you wondering, what exactly are we going to be covering today? Well, I'm going to give you an overview of the Forex market. We're going to talk a little bit about not only, what is the Forex market, but I'm going to give you a little introduction as far as how to read a chart, just some of the basics. But like I said, I don't want to take too much time until we get to the market because we don't have a whole lot of time. And so one of the things we're going to talk about, how to enter a trade and why, how to exit a trade and why. All right, we're going to also talk about, I'm going to show you how to access an elite trading system to give the highest winning probability of trading success for every trade that you place. Now, for those of you in the room, a lot of you already typed in yes if you are, if you do currently have some experience in the market. But what I'm going to do today is this. You guys are going to be very, very pleased with the things that I'm going to show you because we have a lot of setups, we have a lot of things to talk about. And before we kind of take a deep dive into that, I do want to let everybody know a little bit about myself. Like I said before, my name is Michael Tawill, and one of the things that I can tell you right out of the gate is this. I did what the system of life tells you to do. Go to school, study hard, get good grades, and hey, I hope you make it, right? How many of you can relate with me? In any way, shape, or form. And so the reason I tell you that is for this very reason, folks, is that after I did all that, right, went to school, got good grades, got a degree, did all that, went to University of Central Florida, got accepted into several law schools. My choice was the University of Miami School of Law. I got to a point where I was just kind of, working hard, but I just kind of hit a dead end. I was struggling financially, and that's when I kind of realized, my gosh, if I don't do something different, I don't really think anything's going to change. And so that's ultimately how I was introduced to the market. And one of the things that I will tell you is, excuse me, is this. That when it comes to trading, folks, especially in the Forex market, obviously for the most part, you know nothing about the market, right? I knew absolutely nothing about the market, and so for those of you that maybe have a fear of, well, I don't really know much. I don't really know what's going on. I'm not really that experienced. That's absolutely normal because that's how everybody starts. And so what I'm going to be showing you today is going to be relevant for those of you that have experience as well as for those of you that do not have any experience. But with that, I've been teaching and training on the Forex for the last approaching 2 years now, and I'm definitely having a lot of fun doing that. Now, for those of you in the room, I know a lot of you probably have a pen and a piece of paper, but at this time, grab a pen and a piece of paper if you don't, and type in the word "done" when you have that. I want everybody to write something down real quickly. Just let me know that you are in fact good to go, if you don't mind. All right, good deal, good deal. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, everybody. So first thing I want you all to write down is Euro Rally. Okay, you see it on the top left-hand side, Euro Rally. Now, why am I having you write this down? Well, one of the things that we do here at MTI, besides training, educating, so I can go on and provide you with resources and charting and all of that, is that we actually host live sessions and we actually show you exactly what you need to do. We'll look at the market not only short term but long term as well, and we'll basically come up with predictions as far as what do we think is going to happen with specific currency pairs in the long term and even short term. Now, you can see this since January 2014. We've hosted about 5 different predictions, up over 16,000 pips, which is over 160,000 US dollars profit at a standard lot. And right now we're looking at the Euro Rally, and that's the Euro New Zealand and the Euro US. But real quickly, type in the word "me" in the chat box if you guys would be pretty excited if you were able, to capture even a fraction of this movement. How many of you, if I tell you that the two pairs we're looking at about $70,000 at a standard lot, how many of you would be pretty pleased if in the next few months you only captured even just a fraction of the move, right? And so once again, that's one of the biggest things I love talking about is I want you to imagine yourself doing this because really you have to see yourself doing it if you want it to come into to become a reality. Now, real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want you to know who we are. Who is MTI and what do they do? Well, MTI stands for Market Traders Institute, and it's an education company, folks. We are the first and the oldest Forex trading institute on the planet, and we have been in existence since April of 1994, so we are about to celebrate our 22-year anniversary here coming up shortly. We are recognized all over in magazines for one of the fastest growing companies, and one of the biggest things I want to tell you is that MTI students, our students are 103% more profitable, okay, than the average trader out there. And I didn't make that up. The proof is in the numbers with the stats that we've done. But real quick, I want you to think about that. Been around for 21 years, over 30,000 students, and I'll tell you real quickly, folks, that we're not a fan of gimmicks. We're very serious about what we do. We also like to have fun, all right? Now, I'm going to make a promise to you before we kind of pull up the charts. And my promise to you is this, that by the end of this presentation, you will understand the potential in the Forex market. And you will understand how you can have immediate profit potential in the market without quitting what you're doing full time. A lot of people wonder, well, I have this, I have that, I work, I have children or grandchildren, and I'm just busy. Do I have the time to do it? And my answer to you is yes, you absolutely do. It's about tying it into your life right now. So what is the Forex market? Well, the Forex market is the largest financial market with almost limitless amounts of liquidity, which really means that it's a market of limitless financial opportunity. Now, what does that really mean? Well, in my opinion, the Forex market can really be kind of separated from any other market out there because of these 4 things. First one is liquidity. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it is the most liquid market. You can enter in and exit whenever you want. There's always buyers and there's always sellers. It's also the most flexible market. You can trade it 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week, and it's the largest market. There's over $5 trillion traded daily on the Forex market, and we as individuals make up about 2% of the market. And then finally, the market allows you to focus. So, if you look at other markets, stock market, for instance, there's give or take over 40,000 stocks to choose from. Well, that can be overwhelming. With the Forex, there's approximately 60 currency pairs you can trade, but what we do, once again, is we'll actually show you which top 6 to 7 currencies to pay most attention to, and then, of course, the secrets to trading them and becoming successful. Now, for those of you in the room, a lot of you said yes regarding Forex, and some of you said no. And so real quick, what I want to do is kind of bring everybody up to speed and level the playing field. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up the chart, just show you how to read a chart, and then I'm going to anyone who wants to trade usually, asks 2 questions, and I'm going to actually bring these up and answer them for you. But the first one is, what are you doing when trading Forex currencies? And the second is, what is a pip and why do you want them? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my charts. So if everybody can please be so kind if everyone could please just type in a Y for yes in the chat box when you see my charts up on your screen to let me know that we are in fact good to go. All right. Thanks, Wilmer, Bob, Roger. And by the way, we have a couple hundred people in here, and I only had about 5 people respond. Can everyone please type in a Y for yes? Just let me know that you do in fact see my charts up on the screen. I just want to make sure that everybody can see them just fine. All right, there we go. Thanks, John, and Joan, Barry, Bob, Edwat, Aubrey, and everybody else. All right, good deal. So first thing I want to let all of you know is this. This is our proprietary ultimate charting software. For those of you that want to walk away with it today, for those of you that want to be able to trade with it, we are going to give you the opportunity to do that. So just bear with me, give me some time, and I'll definitely show you what you need to do. But we will allow you to go ahead and use it even risk-free for the next, say, 60 days if you'd like. Now, I know that I'm talking a little bit fast, okay? I'm going to just kind of preface that right now. I'm aware of that because we don't have a lot of time. And so one of the things that I'm going to tell you right now is this. A lot of you in the room want me to get super technical, okay? A lot of you are going to, ask me certain questions about, certain things. And I'll even bring those up when the time comes. But one of the things that I want all of you to know is that my goal today, because we have a limited amount of time, is to keep things very, very simple, okay? But real quick, type in the letter S for the word simple if you guys are okay with that. Is everyone cool if I keep it really, really simple? I'm going to show you a lot of great information, trust me. All right, but simplicity is key, and that's what I'm going to really focus on today as we do move along. Now, first thing I want you all to take a look at is the top left-hand side of your screen. Does everyone see where it says GBP/CAD? Does everybody see that? Pound Canadian. All right, that's telling us that we are in fact trading the Great British Pound against the Canadian dollar. Now, if you're wondering, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, one of the first things that I want you all to take a look at is I want you to understand how this market moves. Okay, the market's going to move in a wave-like pattern, and what I mean by that is this: when the market moves, it's going to move forming highs and forming lows. So as you can see here, the market was going up, then the market was going down, then the market was forming highs, and then lower lows, and then highs, lows, and the market will do this over and over and over again. Now, one of the best things, one of the beautiful things about the market, folks, is that it does not, so many people say, well, you're gambling the market. That's not true. Okay, how many of you understand that it is a very, very predictable market, especially if you know what you're doing, right? So that's one of the things that I want everyone to understand is that you are not gambling in the market. You just have to have full-on confidence in what you're doing and understand what you're trying to accomplish. Now, with that being said, real quickly, I want to ask all of you, for those of you that are not really sure what we're looking at, or if you're not really familiar with this, I just want to find out, how many of you type in the word no if you do not know what a Japanese candlestick is? Okay, so if you do not know what a Japanese candlestick is, just type in the word no real quick. Okay, just a few of you. All right, so let me just kind of explain something to you. When the market, okay, we already know the market's going to move in waves, right? Well, when the market, I want you to take a look. I'm going to find a good example. Okay, here's a pretty good example right here. Now, you notice right here, folks, that the market was in fact doing what? The market was going down, then the market was then decided to go up, right? Well, when the market's going down, okay, remember, we're trading the pound against the Canadian. So when the market's going down, that is called a bear market or bearish movement. That's telling us that the Great British Pound is losing value against the Canadian dollar. On the flip side, when the market's going up, that is called a bull market or bullish movement. That's telling us the Great British Pound is gaining strength. It is gaining value against the Canadian dollar. Now, a Japanese candlestick, take a look at these weird-looking rectangular shapes on your screen, these white and dark blue candles. These are called Japanese candlesticks, and what they are is they are a visual representation of how much the market has moved in whatever time frame you select. Now, you can have every candle represent whatever time you want, 1 minute, 10 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, day, week, month, whatever you want. But the ones on my screen just so happen to represent a 1 hour time frame. Okay. Now, when you look at this, folks, you'll clearly be able to identify that dark candles represents that the market's going down, right? So dark candles means the market's going down, and then white candles means the market's going up. All right. That's the biggest difference between those two things. Now, let's just say for a second, all right, we want to place a trade. We want to make some money, right? Well, take a look right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring us to live market, and okay, here's a really, really good example. So let's just go ahead and show this to you. Now, I'm going to back this up just a hair, all right, and I want everyone to imagine, okay, imagine that we decide to enter into the market right here, okay, so we decide to buy the market right there. So I'm going to place a green horizontal line right there to signify that that's our entry point. Okay, so we get in right there, and then we decide to hold our position Until when? Let's say we hold our position until the market gets to right there. Okay, so what we did is we bought the market and we decided to hold our position from here to here. Okay, now I want everyone to take a look at what I'm about to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my ruler tool, all right, and I'm going to measure pips. Now, I'm going to look from our entry point to where we decided to close out our position. Now, I want everyone to take a look at the top left-hand side of your screen. Does everyone see the 4 lines of information? Please be so kind of type in a Y for yes if you do in fact see the 4 lines of information on the top left-hand side. Now I want you to take a look at the 3rd line down where it says range with pips in parentheses. Okay, can everyone type in the number they see? Don't worry about the decimal place. Just type in the number. Great job. And Coastam and everybody else. Good stuff. Bob and April, Aubrey, Stephen, Chris, Ron, Paul. Awesome. Michael as well. So 177 pips. Now, look again at the 4 lines of information. The first line is the date, time, and price that we entered into the market. The second line is the date, time, and price we got out of the market, okay, got out of the trade. The third line is how many pips we captured, and the fourth line is how many bars have moved. So if we're on a 1-hour time frame, is it safe to say that it took 2 hours to capture that, right? Now, I want you all to understand what just happened, okay? We just captured 177 pips, which would equate to $1,770 of profit, and guess what? That took 2 hours. Now, type in a Y for yes, please. If you guys would be, for real, if you would be pretty excited if you were able to capture this type of profit in this type of time frame, would you find value in that? Now, if you're wondering why the heck I'm showing this to you, here's why. I want you all to understand just how much opportunity is available to you and just how volatile the market can truly be. You just have to know what you're doing. Now, for those of you that are wondering, well, you know, Mike, that's great and all, but why did I make $1,770? Well, I'm glad you asked. In this market, okay, you notice that I said the term pips. If you're not really sure what that means, let me kind of fill you in. In this market, folks, our number one goal is to capture pips. PIP is an acronym, and it stands for price, okay, price, interest, point. Now, you don't need to memorize all this. All you need to know is that pips are good, pips are your friend, and that's what you're trying to accomplish at the end of the day. Now, in the Forex market, your profit, your ROI, will depend on what lot size you're trading. So, for example, all right, let's just go ahead and let me just kind of give them to you. In the Forex market, there are 3 major lot sizes, okay, traded in the Forex market. Depending on which lot size you trade, that will determine what your ROI will be. So, if we go ahead and talk about these, let's go ahead and get into them. The smallest lot size available to you, this is known as a micro lot. A micro lot is a $20 investment, okay, and 1 pip is worth 10 cents. Now, the second lot size available to you, this is known as a mini lot. A mini lot is a $200 investment, and 1 pip is worth $1. And then finally, last one, we have the largest lot size. This is known as a standard lot, okay. That is a $2,000 investment, and 1 pip is worth $10. Now, do me a favor. For those of you that understand, how many of you understand what leverage is? Type in a Y for yes if you understand what leverage is. Okay. Okay. Cool. We have quite a few of you here. Awesome. Good stuff. So, what is leverage? Well, here's the thing. In the Forex market, folks, we trade with leverage. Leverage simply stands for buying power. That's simply what it means. Now, here in the U.S., for example, we trade with a 50-to-1 leverage. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, here's what it means. Let's just imagine for a quick second that we are trading with a mini lot, okay? Let's just say we're trading with a mini lot. A mini lot controls $10,000 worth of currency, okay, because of the leverage. Now, let's just say we're trading with a standard lot. A standard lot controls $100,000 of currency, all right? Now, why? So does that make sense? So basically, what I want you to understand, folks, is that is why 177 pips equated to what it did, $1,770, because everything I'm going to show you today is going to be as if we are, in fact, trading with a standard lot. I'm not going to get into broker fees and spreads. I'm not going to get into that much detail. I just want to keep it very, very simple. But understand, everyone can get this leverage. You don't need a loan from the bank. You don't need to have good credit. It's simply how brokers operate. And last thing is this: if you want to place if you have a losing trade in the Forex market, understand that you can never lose more than your initial investment. Okay, the broker will just simply take you out of the trade if needed, all right? So with that being said, can I get a Y for yes or the word me from everyone in the chat box? If you guys are good to go, does this make sense? Everyone good? All right, good stuff, guys. So let's go ahead and kind of shift gears. Now, one of the things that I want to go, I'm going to look at the time real quick. Okay, doing pretty good here. All right, now, one of the things that I want you all to understand is that one of our number one goals, okay, one of your goals in this market should be what? Well, is it safe to say that the number one goal of any trader is to what? Anticipate. Okay, your number one goal is to be able to properly anticipate where the market is going. Now, there's three things, okay, three things that you want to master if you want to absolutely dominate this market and you honestly want to be as successful as least successful, whatever your goals are. If you master these three things, you will dominate the market, okay? And this is it. So a lot of times you kind of get overwhelmed with all the information out there. Number one is, where is the market going? Okay, it's the first thing you want to know. Number two, where do I get in? And number three, where do I get out? All right, so do me a favor, type in a Y for yes if you guys agree with me. How many of you agree that, you know what, that makes a lot of sense? Those are the three things that I want to be able to ask myself and answer every single time. Now, one of the things that I want you all to understand is this. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. There is a way to master the market, right? It's not gambling if you know what you're doing. Now, if you take a look at what I'm about to draw out, I'm going to simply draw out something known as a hand-drawn trend line, okay? I'm going to draw a hand-drawn trend line. I'm going to simply just draw, just bring it down just like this. Now, as I go ahead and, okay, perfect. Now, take a look right here, folks. Does everyone notice how the market, what was the market doing? Is it safe to say that the market was, in fact, forming lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, and there was a lot of selling opportunities here, right? Everyone agree with that? So what you want to understand, folks, is when the market moves, the market's going to move in a wave-like pattern, and this is what I mean. When the market goes up, it's going to go up like this: higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. When it goes down, it's going to go down like this: lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Now, the reason I tell you that is for this very reason. If I was to ask all of you, do you agree with me that this green arrow below, is that the beginning of the new trend? Type in a Y for yes if you all agree with me that, yes, Mike, that is in fact the beginning of the new trend. Does everyone agree with that so far? Okay? All right, good stuff. Now, let me go ahead and kind of clean this up. So we've identified that this is the beginning of the new trend. Now, one of the things that I want you all to understand is this. In this market, folks, you want to be able to have full-on confidence in what you're doing, right? Is that safe to say? And one of the things that I want to teach all of you right now is something known as Fibonacci's. Now, how many of you have ever heard of Fibonacci's? Type in a Y for yes in the chat box if you've ever heard of Fibonacci's ever in your life. Okay? And then do this. Type in the word me if you are aware of the fact that Fibonacci's are all about patterns. Okay, awesome. Zachary, Michael, Bob, Barry, Joan, Edward, Roger, Joanne, Bob, and everyone else. Good stuff. So once again, folks, Fibonacci's, I'm not going to give you this huge dissertation on them, but understand they've been around since the medieval time. Leonardo da Fibonacci founded them. They're known as the natural governing law of nature. And basically what he found was, you know what, that everything has patterns, right? Plants, believe it or not, farmers use it to breed animals and grow plants. Architects use it, and engineers. Plastic surgeons use them. It's all about symmetry, right? Well, we use them here in the investment world. All you need to know is this. You don't need to memorize all these numbers. All you need to know is that color matches with color. So, for instance, okay, red matches with red, blue matches with blue, and green matches with green. So let me ask you a question. If the market was going up, say the market was forming higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and let's just say the market was doing that, and let's just imagine the market decided to retrace. Retrace just means the market's going down. Say the market came down to my red. Where can I expect the market to extend back up to? Good stuff. Red goes to red. If the market was to come down and retrace down to my blue, where can I expect it to go up to? Blue goes to blue. And if it came down to my green, green goes to green, right? Now understand that we can do this in any direction, any currency pair, any time frame. So if the market was going down, making lower lows and lower highs, understand that the only thing that changes is direction. If the market came up to my red, down to my red, Up to my blue, down to my blue, so forth and so on. Now, do me a favor, type in a Y for yes, everybody, if you're with me so far. Please, type in Y for yes, type in me, type in got it, whatever you want, holler at me, I don't care. But let me know that you guys get it. Are you good to go? And can I now apply this to the actual charts? All right, good stuff. Awesome. And by the way, thank you all for the interaction. It really just allows me to be a better teacher and allows me to kind of gauge, how fast or slow we move. So one of the things that I want you to know is that we're going to start, okay, when we use Fibonacci's, we're going to start at the beginning of a trend. Now, if you take a look right here, we've already identified that this is, in fact, the beginning of the trend, right? Now, I want you all to take a look at what I'm about to show you. Ready? Imagine you pull up this chart, you're home, you make a cup of coffee, and you say, you know what, I want to place a trade, right? So you quickly identify that this is the beginning of the trend. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go to the beginning of the trend. Now, I want you to take a look at what I'm about to do, okay? I am going to click my Auto Fibonacci tool. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, how many of you would like the ability, okay, to within seconds, literally within seconds, you plot your Fibonacci's at the beginning of the trend, and it literally guides you and tells you exactly what to do and where you need to be. How many of you would find a lot of value in that, okay? Now watch this. I'm going to grab my Auto Fibonacci tool. I'm going to go to the beginning of the trend, okay? And I'm going to click on, hey Larry, the beginning of the trend is just the deepest candle in the beginning of the new trend, buddy. All right, but we'll teach you everything you need to know as far as how to identify the beginning of a trend and everything, all right? Now I'm going to click at the beginning of the trend. I want everyone to take a look at what's happening. Now, once I do that, does everybody notice how my Fibonacci's automatically appear on my charts? Type in a Y for yes if everybody does in fact see what just happened. And how many of you find value in that? How many of you like the fact that, you know what, wow, that's pretty cool, right? Now watch this. I'm going to back this up, okay? I'm going to back this up. I'm going to go to the beginning of the trend, and I want everyone to take a look at what I'm doing. Ready? If we take a look at the first set of Fibonacci's, folks, okay? I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. I'm going to do this manually, okay, so that it's a little bit easier to see. So let me go ahead and plot our Fibonacci's, and you'll learn where they go and why they go where they go. But I want everyone to take a look right there. Now, did the market, I'm going to kind of move a little bit quicker here. Watch this. Did the market retrace down to my red zone, yes or no? Who can tell me? Did the market come down to my red zone, yes or no? And by the way, some of you might argue that it was the blue, but it's not, okay? It's just shy of that, right? Does everybody see how it came down to the red zone, right? Now, is it safe to say that my target would be at the red zone? Absolutely, right? So we know that red goes to red. Now imagine, okay, just imagine this for a second, folks. If we back this up, we decided to get in there, this is what it would look like. So you're living your life, doing your thing. Did the market fulfill the target, yes or no? Absolutely, right? So watch this. How many of you can tell me how many pips did we capture from our entry to our exit? Who can tell me right now? How many pips, how much time? Top left-hand side. All right, 162 pips, 162 pips in 8 hours, right? Does everybody see that? 162 pips in 8 hours. Now, if we're up 162 pips, okay, in 8 hours time, at a standard lot, folks, that would equate to $1,620 profit. Now, folks, do me a favor. Type in a Y for yes if you would be pretty darn excited if you were able to capture this type of profit in this type of time frame. And listen, guys, I know I'm talking quick. I apologize. And trust me, I know there's a lot of questions. Well, how did you know to get in right here and all that? We're going to teach you everything. But because of the limited time, I do apologize. I can't get too technical. Now, let's just say we move on to our next trade, okay? I want you to take a look at what's happening here. If I show you the next trade, and basically what I'm going to show you real quickly, and one of the things you're going to master is knowing exactly where and why our Fibonacci's go where they go. But if I draw our new set of Fibonacci's, okay, and you take a look and I ask you, all right, did the market retrace and did the market fulfill its target? I want you all to take a look here. All right, now do me a favor, type in a Y for yes, folks, if the market did in fact do exactly what we expected it to do. Type in a Y for yes if the market did in fact retrace down to my red zone, take a look right there, and did it hit our target at the red zone, right? So red goes to red. Now, let me ask you, how many pips did we capture on this one? If we entered in right there, we got out right there, is it safe to say that in 22 hours we're up 257 pips? Y'all see that? Awesome. Okay, now, One of the things that I want you all to take a look at, okay, for those of you, Michael and everyone else that's typing that in, I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here, and here's what I want to show each and every one of you. Ready? If we're up 257 pips, that would equate to $2,570 US profit in 22 hours. Okay, watch this, guys. Is it safe to say that we were able to capture, okay, 1,620 plus 2,570? Are we up 4,190 US profit in 2 days' time? Yes or no? Type in Y for yes if everyone's with me so far. All right, and by the way, guys, as a teacher, I definitely like to slow down and teach detail, but once again, I'm just kind of showing you some of the basics here. But if you were able to do that in a week, would you be okay with that? If it took you a week, would you be happier with that, right? Absolutely. Now that I showed you what we're doing and how much profit has been generated on those two previous examples, here's what I'm going to do now, okay? Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and bring our auto Fibonacci's back, and I want to ask each and every one of you a question. Ready? So beginning of the trend, auto Fibonacci tool, click it right there at the beginning of the trend. Now let's take a look at something real quick, all right? If we're looking at live market, let's bring this out to live market, and I want to ask all of you a question. Did the market, okay, let me kind of back this up. All right. Did the market retrace down? Did the market retrace down to our red zone, yes or no? Yes, it did, right? Is our target going to be at the red? Yes, and it's not always red, by the way. It just so happens that these are 3 reds in a row. Now, I want you to take a look at what's happening. Is the market moving in the direction that we want, and is the market moving in the direction that we have anticipated? Yes or no, right? And once again, I want to ask you all this. How many of you are starting to understand, wow, you know, the market really does move in a wave-like pattern, forming higher highs and higher lows, right? Remember that? Higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. And it's going to do this over and over and over again. And guess what? Our goal as traders is to be able to take advantage of it and profit. Now, how many pips away, if we take a look from our entry point, okay, how many pips away is that target? 397 pips. Now, if we take a look at live market, the market's already moved 266 pips, right? So 266 pips, what does that equate to? Well, 266 pips, let me go ahead and clear this out, 266 pips, right, plus our 162 pips, plus our 257 pips, that's 685 pips. Now, since the beginning, folks, who can tell me how long have we been trading this trend? Who can tell me right now? If you take a look, since January 20th, so in the last 8 days, we've been in trading for 8 days' time, right? In 8 days, we're up 685 pips. 685 pips would equate to $6,850 US of profit in the last 8 days. Now, folks, I got to show you something else. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time here. But do me a favor. Type in a Y for yes if you understand, if you believe that this is something you can do, if you believe this is something you can learn, how many of you would be very, very excited and pleased? And I know there's questions, and I know that there's certain things you need to learn. Trust me, I'm fully aware of that as far as stop losses and all that. But do you like what you see? How many of you are now starting to have a different perspective as far as how Fibonacci's operate, especially with the auto Fibonacci tool? Now, another thing that I want to show you is this. We're in a new day and age, right? And so, okay, thank you, organizer. It's telling me I got about 11 minutes left. All right. So, with that being said, folks, I want you to take a look. How many of you would like the ability to plug and play? If I told you, folks, that there was a way you can literally place trades and be told what to do, where to get in, where to get out, and not spend a whole lot of time analyzing, how many of you would like the ability, especially for those of you that are fairly, maybe for those of you that are fairly new. And so what I want to do is I'm going to quickly teach this to you, and then I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing. I'm going to pull up, I'm going to pull up a good example here, and let's just go with the Euro Swiss. Okay. Now, I want you to take a look right here. Actually, that's let me find a little bit better of an example here. And okay. Perfect. Let's just go with this one. All right. So when you look at this, folks, here's what I want everyone to take a look at. This is the FX Turbo Trader. You're going to get this today, by the way. But the FX Turbo Trader is actually an automated system, and what this is going to do is this is going to allow us Okay, this is going to allow us to basically figure out where the market's going. Now understand this. There's three main indicators, right? You have a teal blue line, a green, and a red. Now, for those of you taking notes, I want you to go ahead and I want you to write this down. All right? Everything above the teal blue line, okay, is going to be known as my buy zone. Everything below my teal blue line is going to be known as my sell zone. All right? Now, you'll notice that we have green and red, right? Well, green indicators, all right, green means go, green means buy. All right? Green means go, green means buy. Red means stop, red means sell. So what this is telling us, folks, is that what we're looking for is a double confirmation. So I'm going to buy the market if I have candles in the buy zone and a green indicator. I need both of those things. If I'm going to sell, I need them in the sell zone and a red indicator. All right? So do me a favor, because I know I'm moving pretty quickly. Type in a Y for yes if you guys understand that so far. All right? So watch this. If I show you real quickly here, if I show you real quick, how many of you realize and understand that this would have been our entry point? Does everybody understand that we would have got in right there? Okay, why did we get in? Are we in the buy zone, and do we have a green indicator? Yes, we do, right? So watch this. If I measure from our entry point, okay, entry point to live market, how many pips are we up since when? 124 pips in the last 2 days. Everybody see that? 124 pips in the last 2 days, right? Type in 124 if everyone sees that so far. 124 pips. Okay, that's 1,240 US dollars profit at a standard lot. And what I'm going to do for the sake of time is I'm going to show you one more, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and keep moving here because I want to make the most of my last 10 minutes here. But for example, let's just go to another one. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the let's just go with the Aussie Japanese yen. Now, if you take a look here, folks, does everybody see that? Okay, we are in fact in the buy zone. And take a look at this. Not only are we in the buy zone, but we have a green indicator, right? We have exactly what we need. So we decide to place that trade. Now, if we take a look, is it safe to say that we're up 130 pips in the last 2 days as well, right? 130 pips in the last 2 days. 130 pips, what does that equate to? Well, that's going to equate to $1,300 profit at a standard lot in the last 2 days as well. Okay, and I can go on and on and on with examples and demonstrations, but so far, okay, so far, based on what you guys are seeing and what you're looking at, how many of you like what you see? If I told you guys that, you know what, you're going to be able to use this, trade with it, use it for, use it risk-free, trade with it, experience it, how many of you would like the ability to do that? Let me show you one more here. All right, clearly, take a look right here, folks. We enter in right there. Okay, take a look at live market. If I go ahead and show you how many pips we captured here, we're up 255 pips, right? So if we're up 255 pips, okay, or 2,550 US dollars profit, and I was to ask all of you, based on those three alone, okay, and clearly there's I can get into so many more examples, how many of you understand that we literally, what we just did is we captured, all right, we basically captured over, okay, if we're up 1,240 plus 2,550 plus 1,300, did we capture over $5,000 in the last week or less, right? Okay, so with that being said, I have to move on, folks, but understand this, that one of the things that I want you to take away from this, folks, is this, that trading is literally for everyone if you want to make it happen. Now it looks like my PowerPoint is restarting, so do apologize for that, but it happens, so let's just keep moving here. So let me go back down here, and okay. Now let's go ahead and that's funny. Okay, so all right, there we go. Okay, so let's get back to it. So with that being said, folks, one of the things that I want you all to understand is this: that I want you to understand that so many people succeed. It doesn't matter, background. None of it matters. All that matters is that you want to win. Now, one of the things that I want to do personally is I want to go ahead and pull something up to kind of show you this. I'm going to pull up our Facebook screen. Okay, this is our Facebook page, and I want everyone to take a look here. You'll notice that we have well over 60,000 likes. All right, I'll tell you right now, you don't get there for no reason, right? You got to be doing something right, and it's called success for the last almost 22 years now. But I'm going to go down. This is one of our analyst page. I'm going to go to visitor posts, and I want everyone to take a look right here. Does everybody notice 1 hour ago, Trish Walker says, Hey Josh, excited to let you know that January has been a great month. I have made 2,961 pips this month. Okay, how many of you realize that that is over, that's, I don't want to scare you, but do you understand that's over $20,000 in 1 month, right? Take a look here, Deborah, 21 hours ago. I just made 148 pips. That's $1,400, right? And I mean, I can go on and on and on. Take a look, Deborah, once again, 43 pips. That's over 400 US dollars. All right, and folks, my question to all of you is this. Type in a Y for yes if you honestly believe this is something you can learn and you'd like to get to this point. Heather, hey Josh, collected 239 pips yesterday. In 1 day, 2,300 US dollars. Also another 258 pips on a strategy. Another over 2,500 US dollars. Marina made another $3,100. So these are the things that you want to think about, folks, as we move along, because I'm going to tell you right now, it really, honestly, all it takes is a desire to want to succeed. Now, for those of you wondering, well, what are we doing? Here's the deal. I have about 5 minutes, and I got to start wrapping this up. And so what I want all of you to understand is this, okay, that if you're wondering where does it starts with the Ultimate Traders Package On-Demand program, okay? Now, with that being said, okay, thank you guys for the heads up. Ultimate Traders Package On-Demand program. Now, I can't give this dude justice because of limited time, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is where it all starts. What is this comprised of? Live classes. It's instructor-led, so every day you have the ability to log in, plug into live sessions, online university, available 24/7, so you have literally every module, everything you can imagine that you need to learn, Fibonacci's, uptrends, downtrends, equity management, the whole 9 yards. It's all done for you. Okay, and that's the best part, that it's on demand. Daily webinar, so every day you're learning, did I miss anything from our analysts? It's all going to be available to you, all right, live and recorded archives as well. FX Chief Fast Track Mentorship. This is the CEO and the founder of MTI. You also have a personal coach to help you. So you're going to have a coach and a mentor, somebody to take you by the hand, show you exactly what to do, and also Pro Traders Checklist. So this is going to tell you exactly what to do. You're not going to miss a beat, and it's also going to give you exit strategies as well as give you the likelihood of you fulfilling the trade. Analyst on demand. How many of you would like the ability to plug and play every day, log in, and be literally just copy what our professionals are doing? All right. So every day you can log in. They're telling you exactly what to do. And literally just mimic their trades. And number 8, ultimate trading software. So everything I was showing you, the software, the Fibonacci's, the systems, all of it, okay? Now, here's what we're doing for all of you as a special. We are going to give you something known as the all-new MTI Automation Factory, system-based trading automation control. You're going to get 3 systems right out of the gate alongside building your own trading systems, 10 customizable scripts. And folks, if you look at the back test results on these 3 alone, 1,717 pips. That's over 17,000 US dollars on one system. Another 8,000 plus on another system, and over $10,000 on the third system. You're going to get all these today, okay? So, folks, here's the deal. You're trading with the best of the best, hands down, case closed. That's just what it's at. And by the way, I will tell you, a lot of people can talk a lot. They sound good, they look good, but honestly, where's the credibility, right? And that's the thing that I recommend you look at. And so this is Josh, one of our professional traders here at MTI. He's known all around the globe. And I'm going to tell you, folks, the Euro rally, the current prediction that we're doing, once again, over 7,000 pips of opportunity this year alone. Now, as I come to a close and wrap this up, I'm going to tell you all, we're going to give you 60 full days, 100% money back guarantee. Okay, for whatever reason you feel that, you know what, this is not for you, we will give you your money back within 60 days, folks. And here's what we're doing for you. All right, I got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to tell you right now that the market price of our education is $12,610. That's just the market price. However, I want you all to know that that's not the actual price. The retail price of the education is $7,995. Now, the actual price now is actually $9,995 because the price has increased for the new year. However, for those of you that want to get involved right now, we are going to allow you to not only take advantage of the old price, but save 50% off just like that, almost $4,000 off. Folks, literally saving over almost $4,000, making your one-time investment just $39.97. That's it, okay? Now, for those of you that, I know that we didn't have a lot of time, for those of you that want more information, you want to get, a detailed conversation and we can actually take our time, I want you to go ahead and type in your phone number for those of you that want to get more information on this and take action. You have questions, and trust me, I respect that. We'll spend a lot more time on the phone talking, and I'll fill you in on a lot of things. But at the least, if you don't want to miss out, it's going to require you typing in your phone number at this time. Now, for anyone that types in their number and calls in right now, you will get an additional $500 off just for simply calling in. The number is right there on the screen. So, guys, here's what it boils down to, because I'm about hitting my time. We're going to give everybody 2 options right now. Option A is a one-time risk-free investment, 50% off, just $39.97. That is it, okay? Option B is the regular retail price, except you get to pay month to month. It's customizable to you. And folks, at this time, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm telling you right now that the price has already increased. This is it. This is the last time, the last opportunity to do this. For those of you that want to take advantage of this one-time risk-free investment, 100% risk-back, money-back guarantee, type in your phone number with option A. And for those of you that have an interest in month-to-month, okay, I want you to type in your number with option B. So guys, at this time, I am done. I got to wrap this up. And so at this time, I want you all to type in your phone number, okay, with option A or B, or type in your number with questions next to it, and I will be on chat, okay? So I am done. I got to bring the educational specialist back up, or sorry, at this time I got to bring the host back up, but I will be talking to you in chat. And if you want to type in your number, I will be chatting with you as well, and I'll be more than happy to talk, okay? So with that, guys, thank you very much, and once again, had a blast, and I will once again be on standby, okay? So at this time, type in your number if you'd like to get more info, and I'm done. Thank you, guys.